Hi, I'm Rebecca from the Busy Woman's Garden, and in this quick video I give 3 tips on figuring out what plants go where when you're a beginner in the garden. So my first tip is about shade. Understanding the parts of your garden that are shady versus sunny and how shady some parts of it are is the first step to figuring out what plants will tolerate what spot in your garden. So the way to do that is to look at the sun over time. If you don't have time, set a reminder on your phone for particularly on a sunny day, because it's very difficult to figure it out in a dull day. So find a sunny day and put reminders on your phone to take a photo 2 or 3 times throughout the day, and you'll see where the shadows are cast, and this will tell you which parts of your garden are shady and which parts are full sun and which parts are what they call partial shade, which means it's shady for some parts of the day. Not what I thought it used to be, which was half in the shade and half in the sun. So, you know, there's no shame if that's what you thought it was too. So the other one is height. So you need to look at how much height can you get into your garden realistically. So you need to think about the size of it. If it's a small garden, you can't go too crazy because anything very tall will dominate the garden. So have a look at what size your garden is and then think about what height might look right. Now, it can be hard enough to estimate that, but if you look at walls or fences that are nearby in the garden and you know the height of those, and if you don't, just measure them and think, well, I don't want to be more than 3 feet or a meter higher than that or whatever. That will give you your maximum height that you want to play with. And once you know that, then you can figure out the height of other plants that will go near it. So don't forget that you have to figure out when you're planting a tall thing how it'll block the sun to other plants and also block the view of other plants if you put it too far towards the front. So think about your heights. How much can your garden tolerate? And then my last tip is time, right? So you have to figure out, have you got money or patience? Because gardening for the big items is all about a trade-off between the two. If you buy something fast growing because you want to fill in a gap in your garden quickly, you need to remember that it won't just stop growing when you get to the height you want to be or to the size you want to be. It'll probably keep going, which means you need to maintain it in terms of pruning or trimming. So if you don't want to do that, then you need to find something that's slower growing. Something that's slower growing requires patience, unless you're willing to pay the money to buy a mature specimen, which will get you a bigger plant quicker and that doesn't need too much maintenance. But that is an expensive luxury to have in your garden, so you need to think carefully about it if that's what you want to do. So those are my 3 tips about figuring out what goes where when you're starting off. I hope they help. And if you'd like more tips, you can subscribe to my mailing list, which will give you the 5 quick wins for beginners in the garden to get started. And also every week I mail out other ideas from the garden and tips and hints. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.